guys. I have my headphones on because I just did an ASMR video, and for those of you that don't know, ASMR videos are basically videos that you make sounds that people find relaxing and you whisper and it helps people relax. And I got into it when I started having anxiety pretty bad and pretty regularly, from all my cancer treatments and things like that. Before I got sick, I never really had anxiety, maybe occasionally, but not on a regular basis. And after I had radiation for the first time in my abdomen area, I started having anxiety attacks. And I think that's because it was radiation going into my solar plexus, or the main energy point of the body. But I found that these ASMR videos really helped me. And then I just liked them, and I liked that it was something I could listen to at night to zone out, and it was something that really helped with the anxiety. So I started making them myself just because I thought, well, I know what I would like to listen to, so maybe it would help other people. And it was something that I could do from my bed as I'm making this video from my bed, because I didn't feel that great today, and so it's just easier to film from my bed, and it still allows me to connect with you guys even when I don't feel well. And so that's why I do those videos. But this is not an ASMR video. This is a spiritual video. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my spiritual take or understanding of when a child is transgender. I've worked with children who were transgender in my internship of mental health in school. And I really liked working with that population of children because I found them to be compassionate and talented and very intelligent, and I just really wanted to help them. And so I did a lot of meditating and a lot of praying and a lot of sessions with both transgender boys and transgender girls. And I began having a theory that someone who is transgender, I believe, has had multiple past lives in one particular gender. And when they come back as the opposite gender of what they've been for most of their past lives, it doesn't feel right to them. And that's why they long to be the opposite gender of what they've incarnated into in this present life. So that is my take on it. So let's say a little boy who is born, in the last 10 years, has multiple past lives where he was a little girl in the past lives. And let's say 9 out of his 12 past lives, he was a little girl. So when he came into this lifetime, the present lifetime, as a little boy, it didn't feel right because he's used to thinking and acting like a little girl. And so he came into this lifetime wanting to be a little girl because that's the gender that his spirit is most familiar with. That is my theory on transgender children or individuals. And being transgender is very different from being gay. It's wanting to be the opposite sex of what you're born into. They are considered are grouped with gay and lesbian individuals. but they are different from gay and lesbian individuals. And as I said, I've really enjoyed working with children who were transgender, both boys and girls. And if someone else came up with this theory before me, I'm not trying to take credit for someone else's work. I have no idea if someone else has thought about this before, but it came to me that this was very possible. And I actually did some past life work with some of the transgender children. And children are very open to meditation and hypnosis. And so we were able to go into their past lives. And sure enough, I did find that in multiple past lives, they were the gender that they longed to be in the present past life. It doesn't mean that that's the case for everyone, but I think it could definitely be a correlation to what happens when someone is born into the gender that they don't feel comfortable in the present life. I think it's also important when talking to young people who can understand about past lives that this is a possibility. It can help them feel less crazy, and it can help them make sense of this strong pull or drive that they have to be the opposite sex of what they were born into. And it's very important when you have a child who is transgender that you let them express the gender that they wish to be. So if you have a little boy who really wants to be a little girl, and it's not a phase, and it starts very early, even at the age as early as 2 or 3, where he wants different genitalia and he wants to be called by a girl's name or referred to as a she or a her instead of him. It's very important that you honor that, because when you don't honor their wishes, you're going against their spirit and you're telling them that there's something wrong with them, when in fact there's nothing wrong with them. They just have a feeling in their body that doesn't resonate with how they feel in their spirit. And so in order to create harmony, you have to go along with what their spirit is telling them and allow them to express that. Because, as many of you may not know, the highest rate of suicide among young adults is usually happens with the transgender community. Actually, the highest rate of suicide or attempted suicide does happen with that particular population, because they feel trapped in a body that doesn't make sense to them, and they feel unaccepted, and it's just very, very difficult. So that is my spiritual take on it, and everyone should be loved for who they want to be and who they are, and accepted for who they are, who they want to be, what their spirit resonates with, as long as they're not hurting anyone or themselves. Everyone needs to be honored and loved, and any child or individual who has come into this lifetime and found out or realized that they're transgender, they are very strong spirited, amazing people, because it is a very difficult journey to go on with not a lot of support out there in the mainstream of society. So if you know someone who's transgender or you yourself are transgender, I have so much respect for you, so much love for you, and I hope that you get to a point in your life sooner rather than later where you truly love yourself and you can be who you really want to be on the inside and out. Until next time, love, light, and blessings. Bye.